Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys this double flying team I've made with Skarmory and Altaria in the Great League. We will be getting a 5 wins, so watch to the end to see those battles. If you guys haven't already, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, turning notifications on. We are on the road with 100 subscribers and it will really help the channel a lot if you did consider showing your support. And with that being said, let's get on to today's video. For the first round, we have a really bad start as my opponent starts off the battle with an Arcanine in the front. Arcanine is an only fire type Pokemon, and fire types will be doing super effective damage against steel types, so I do decide to make a swap out into my Altaria since dragon types will be resisting those fire types. I do know that Arcanine has Wild Charge. Wild Charge will be doing a lot of neutral damage against my Altaria, and I did not swap out into Deoxys since Arcanine can also learn Crunch. Crunch is a Dark type charge move. Dark types will be doing super effective damage against Psychic types. So, because of this, my opponent did make a swap out into Celebi. Celebi is a Grass and Psychic type Pokemon, and he is shielding all of these Sky Attacks. Sky Attacks will be doing a lot of super effective damage against him and probably fainting him even with half health. He does have 0 shields left, and my Altaria does go down, but that is still okay. But my opponent does make a swap out into Arcanine. Arcanine does have half health, and he does have pretty good energy from those hits that he gave onto my Skarmory. The Arcanine did throw in a Crunch, but a good thing did not faint us. It only brought us to half health, and we are resisting those fire attacks pretty well. So we are doing pretty good still. My Thunderbolt does charge up and his Arcanine does go down. If he does swap out into Celebi, I will go for the farm down. But his second to last Pokemon is actually a Sharpedo, and my Deoxys got off so much damage. Sharpedo is a water and dark type Pokemon. Fighting types are super effective against dark types, and that Deoxys did so much damage to him once again. My opponent did use Poison Fang. Poison Fang is only a poison type charge move. Poison types will be doing not very effective damage against my Skarmory because of my steel type, so we will be resisting poison types. We will also be resisting psychic types and grass types from that Celebi. Sky Attack does go through because he does have no shields, and it does allow us to win that first round. Good game to my opponent. For the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Raichu. Raichu is an electric type Pokemon, so he will be resisting my fast move attacks and my charge move attacks due to flying not being effective against electric types and steel types doing not very effective damage against electric types. I do make a swap out into Deoxys as a safe swap since Raichu will also be doing a lot of neutral damage against my Altaria, but my opponent did make a swap out into Hypno. Hypno is an only psychic type Pokemon, but he does have Shadow Ball. He does have mix and match like Altaria. He does have Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Shadow Ball, Electric Punch, and all of those will be doing super effective damage against all of my Pokemon. My Thunder Punch does once again charge up, but he did get that Shadow Ball off, and he did do so much damage because of it. Thunderbolt does go through, and my opponent does throw in the shield. My opponent does make the bad move by throwing in the charge move right here. He should have just gone for the farm down and used that Thunder Punch on one of my other Pokemon. So I am going to make a swap out into Skarmory to counter that Confusion fast attack. He did use 1 shield, so it is okay for me to mirror that shield as well. I am down by 1 Pokemon, and he does see my Pokemon next. That does allow him to find a counter without having to go through the swap cooldown. He does get 1 Confusion off before he does faint, and my opponent does make a swap out into Scrafty. If this Sky Attack does go through, it will be doing a lot of super effective damage. If it doesn't, that still is okay. My opponent does decide to shield right here, and since I was really close to Sky Attack, I did decide to stick the one-on-one against Skyrim and Crafty, get to that Sky Attack, and then make a swap out into Altaria since my Skyrim is pretty low. The Sky Attack did go through because he does have 0 shields. Once again, Foul Play, Night Slash, Power Up Punch will all be doing barely any damage against my Altaria. We will be able to survive any of those hits. So that Foul Play does go through. I did not choose to shield there. Raichu does come out, and if he does use Wild Charge, that will be even better, since Wild Charge will give him a defense debuff, and it does allow my Dragon Breath and Sky Attack to do way more damage. As you guys know, Sky Attack is also a flying type charge move, and flying types will be doing not very effective damage against electric types, but it did so much damage because of that Wild Charge defense debuff. And that Scrafty does have 1 HP, and it does allow us to win that second round. Good game to my opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a fairy and normal type Pokemon, and I do have Steel Wing as my fast move for my Skarmory, so we will be doing a lot of super effective damage against him. So my opponent does make a swap out into a Ninetales. Ninetales is an only fire type Pokemon. Alolan Ninetales is an ice and fairy type Pokemon, but he did not swap out into an Alolan one. It is only a regular one. Alolan Ninetales is doing not very effective damage against us due to dragon resisting fire types. But Sky Attack will be doing a lot of neutral damage against him. So my opponent does throw in a shield there. He is down 1 shield. Both of us are the same health. That is super good actually, since I did not have to waste a shield. I am going to throw in a shield here, just so I can preserve my Altaria's health. So the benefits of shielding right here is I get to see his next Pokemon, since my Altaria will still be alive. I do have those Sky Attacks charged up, so we may see my opponent throw in a shield. And yeah, so the Sky Attack does go through, and my opponent did make a swap out into Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is doing a lot of super effective damage against us due to fairy types being super effective against dragon types. My opponent is once again a fairy and normal type Pokemon, so that is when I can swap into my Skarmory, due to Skarmory being super effective against that Wigglytuff. So I do have 1 shield left, 2 Pokemon left, and my opponent's final Pokemon is a Vaporeon. Vaporeon is an only water type Pokemon, so that does allow my Deoxys to come out as well and do super effective damage due to electric types being super effective against water types. And Vaporeon is not really glassy, and he isn't too bulky, but we are going to be doing a pretty good damage with the Thunderbolts, and it may even faint him from the health that he is at. So Thunderbolt does go through. He really did do a good amount of damage, 1 HP, 1 more hit, and he does go down, allowing us to win that 4th round. Good game to my opponent. For the 4th round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a dragon and ground type Pokemon, and that is Flygon. Flygon is doing not very effective damage against us, since he does have a dragon type fast move. Dragon types will be doing not very effective damage against us, since steel types resist dragon types. So my opponent I did not have to shield that Dragon Claw from my opponent, since it barely did any damage. Sky Attack does go through, and it did so much damage against him. My opponent does throw in another Sky Attack, which we don't have to worry about, since it's barely doing any damage against us. Dragon Claw, it is only once again a Dragon Claw. So we do have half health on my Skarmory. We do have the advantage right here. My opponent does make a swap out into Victini. Victini does have Confusion as his fast move. No fire type fast moves at all, since fire types, that is really good for us, since fire types will be doing super effective damage against steel types, but we are resisting those psychic type moves because of my steel type on my Skarmory. My opponent does decide to throw in a charge move right here. This was a bad move to make, since he should have just saved up, used the recreate on the Pokemon that I am going to swap out to, and go for the farm down on my Skarmory instead. Because of that, my Dragon Breath from my Altaria will be doing so much damage due to V-Crate having a defense debuff. So I am going to throw in a shield since V-Crate is just such a strong charge move, and I did have to shield there. My opponent does swap out into a Stunfisk. Stunfisk is a ground and electric type Pokemon. This is really bad for us since Stunfisk can basically take on my whole team, because Altaria will be doing only neutral damage with my Dragon Breath, but not very effective damage with my Sky Attack. But for my Deoxys, my counter will be doing neutral damage against him, while Thunderbolt will be doing not very effective damage because Thunderbolt is an electric type charge move. Electric types are double resisted because of that ground and electric type on that Stunfisk. This charge does go through. It is doing really good damage against us. I am not going to throw in a shield for any of it. My Deoxys did manage to get that Stunfisk to half health, and that was pretty good. He is just throwing in discharges, so he did not get that extra mud shot off. I am going to make a swap out into my Altaria, throw in the Sky Attack since I did already have it charged up, and then I am just going to go for the Dragon Breath and farm him down for his Victini just in case. I am not going to throw in a shield. Although discharge will be doing a lot of neutral damage against us, we will survive, but it still is doing a lot of damage because it charges up super fast and it is doing plenty of neutral damage. His final Pokemon is that Victini, just a few Dragon Breaths, and that Victini does go down, allowing us to win the 4th round. Good game to my opponent. For the 5th and final round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Scrafty. Scrafty is a dark and fighting type Pokemon, so my Sky Attack will once again be doing a lot of super effective damage against him due to flying types being super effective against fighting types. Since Scrafty does also have that dark type, I did take the 50-50 chance, and if he did have Night Slash or Foul Play as one of his charge moves, he would have been doing a lot of super effective damage against us. But for some reason, he did use only an Acid Spray. Foul Play and Night Slash will be doing already a good amount of damage. I don't think that he did want to get the defense debuff on him unless he only has Acid Spray as his charge move. We are doing lots of damage with only counter, and my opponent did throw in a shield with my Thunderbolt. Another Acid Spray does go through. It is doing barely any damage only because it is meant for only defense debuffs. And we do get the first feint on that Scrafty, and my Thunderbolt is also charged up, so we did get really good energy against him. Victini does come out. Victini is a fire and psychic type Pokemon, so the move to make here is to make a swap out into Altaria, so we can swap those. So we can tank those fire type moves. Dragon types will be resisting those fire type moves due to fire types being not very effective against dragon types. So we do get a really good farm down against him, but my opponent does make a swap out into a Vaporeon, I think. It is a Vaporeon. Vaporeon is an only water type Pokemon. He does have 0 shields left as well. Sky Attack is going to be doing plenty of neutral damage against him. Skarmory will be doing not very effective damage against him because of Steel Wing. Steel types are not very effective against water types. And I did not have to shield anything here since Aqua Tail or Water Pulse will be doing barely any damage against us because dragon types are also once again resisting both water and fire types. So we do just go for the really good farm down. He does throw in a Aqua Tail once again. It is going to feint us, but I do have Skarmory in the back to feint both his Vaporeon and his Victini. We do have 2 shields left to shield those V-Crates, and he does not get it off without him fainting, and it does allow us to win the 5th round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy this 5-win gameplay with this new team I've created for the Great League, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, turning notifications on. It will really support the channel a lot and help us. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. So once again, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and turning notifications on. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.